It was a cold morning in Minnesota, the kind that turns breath into mist and reminds people how fragile life can be. Outside the St. Mary's Children's Hospital, snow gently coated the pavement, muffling the sounds of the busy city. Inside room 207, a father stood still, watching his daughter sleep. The beeping of machines was soft and steady, a lullaby he had come to memorize. David Walker, once a renowned jazz dancer on Broadway, now stood helpless beside a hospital bed. His 7-year-old daughter, Lily, had been diagnosed with a rare heart condition just 2 months ago. Surgery was scheduled for the next morning. Doctors had said it was her best chance, but also her riskiest. David hadn't danced in years, not since his wife, Amy, passed away giving birth to Lily. The stage that once brought him fame and freedom now only reminded him of loss. But tonight, as he looked at his daughter's fragile frame surrounded by wires and IVs, he felt a familiar rhythm awaken in his heart. "Daddy?" Lily's voice was barely a whisper, but it carried the weight of 1,000 prayers. He leaned in and held her small hand. "I'm here, sweetheart. Will you dance with me?" she asked, her eyes searching his with that innocence only children possess, the kind that believes love can conquer death. David swallowed hard. "Now." Lily nodded. "Just one last dance, before tomorrow." He hesitated. There wasn't enough room. There wasn't music. And his knees weren't what they used to be. But none of that mattered now. He stood, gently helped her sit up, and placed her feet on his. Wrapping her tiny arms around his waist, he whispered, "Ready?" She smiled. And so, in the quiet of the hospital room, they danced. He hummed an old tune, the same one he danced to when he proposed to Amy, the same one they played in the delivery room, and the same one he hadn't dared to hear since she died. Nurses peeked through the glass, their eyes filling with tears. A few paused their rounds just to watch, as if the moment held something sacred. With each step, David's soul began to heal. And though Lily's heart was weak, in her father's arms she felt stronger than ever. The next morning, the operating room was prepped. Lily was prepped. David kissed her forehead and whispered, "Be brave. I'll be right here when you wake up." But inside, he was breaking. Hours passed like days. In the waiting room, David stared at the floor, reliving their dance, over and over. What if that really had been the last one? Then the surgeon entered, his face unreadable. "Mr. Walker," he said. "She made it. The surgery was successful." David gasped, a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. "She's stable, but she'll need time to recover." Tears streamed down his cheeks as he whispered, "Thank you, thank God." When Lily finally woke up, the hospital staff had a surprise. A small video had gone viral, footage from their dance, recorded by a nurse. It had already reached millions. People from all over the world had left comments. "This reminded me to call my dad. I haven't cried like this in years. This is what love looks like." The video was titled, "A Father's Last Dance, Until She Danced Again." Even major networks picked it up. Donations poured into the hospital. Families began sharing their own stories of love, sacrifice, and faith. The hospital started a Dance for Hope campaign in honor of Lily, a fundraiser to support children with rare conditions. David and Lily were invited to events, interviews, even to speak at conferences about resilience and hope. But David always said the same thing. "I didn't do anything special. I just danced with my daughter." 1 year later. It was spring again, and Lily had just turned 8. Her heart was strong. Her spirit, even stronger. That night, David stood backstage at a charity event, holding her hand. "You ready?" he asked. She nodded. "Let's show them." As the lights dimmed and the music began, a father and daughter stepped onto the stage, not as a man broken by life, or a child battling illness, but as survivors. As dancers. As symbols of hope. And as they moved together, Step by step, heart to heart, the audience rose, clapping through tears.